our priority. Call W&P Legal now on 01778 252 301.
This is Salaam Radio, Peterborough's Muslim community radio, broadcasting on 106.2 FM and online.
Welcome to the Tech Factor, your go-to source for the latest and greatest in the tech world. We are your hosts, ready to dive into this fascinating and sometimes frustrating world of technology. And joining me in the studio are my co-hosts, Faisal Mahmood, our gadget guru, known for his knack for unearthing the coolest tech trends, as well as Joel, the software servant, always up to date with the latest apps and digital solutions, and my last tech guru, Shamshad, the cybersecurity whiz, ensuring we stay safe in our tech endeavors. I can't even speak right now. Gentlemen, how are you?
Very good, very good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, very good.
You.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. It's my third show of the night.
A1.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Do you know what? Now you said that, there's been no P1. There we go. There's been no P1
Don't
this
say
evening.
that, you'll jinx it.
Do you reckon? Okay. In fact, for someone who doesn't know what P1 means, Shamshad, please explain.
P1 is like the highest priority of a major incident or something.
There we go.
Yeah,
so we had no P1 in the studio, but Faisal is back. How are you? You left us 2 weeks ago. Shameful.
I'm back though, ain't I?
Well, only after Joel defragged your hard drive. It's great to see you. Great to see you indeed. So in this episode, we're tackling the maddening world of tech troubles. From failing check deposit photos, those never-ending Windows updates. We'll share our gripes and offer tips to help you conquer these annoyances. And plus, we'll lighten the mood with reviews of the coolest tech and funny stories from the week. Now, I'm going to start off, right? 2018... I've started my new job in this, as you guys know where I work, at a new company. I get a box fresh Dell laptop, okay? I'm sat with my colleague who's not here, but I know he's listening right now. Hello, Amir. And so he gives me, pull out the laptop, and I plug in the charger and everything on the wall. I open the lid. I press the power button. Blue screen. Blue screen of death on a fresh, brand new Dell laptop. And I'm sat there thinking, I work for probably the second largest IT services company in the world. I've got a brand new Dell laptop. I've just switched it on.
With a lid.
With the lid, right? And it's already dead, right? And wow. I thought, Windows, as much as it's the world's largest, most used operating system, is also the one that I feel I have the biggest nightmares with. Everything from, as I've just mentioned, box fresh, Dell laptop to, have we got something going on in the studio? Could you just double check what's going outside for me, please? That look like it's just a bird. So, yeah. Okay, our BA is running around all over the place. It appears that we're getting attacked. The studio is being attacked by birds crashing into the windows. Do you remember in our previous place we used to work? Yes, so where we're based here in Peterborough, we have these glass windows that have reflections. So when a bird comes across, it just flies straight through. That's what's happened. If you're wondering why I'm laughing, there's been a bird attack in the building. Anyway, getting back to Windows, it's a mixed bag. They've got all the tech in the world, i.e. all the... We've had another one. That's two. But anyway, it's a great platform, so I'm not disrespecting Windows in any way, but I find it to be wholly unreliable and gives you and wants to do updates in the most inappropriate time. Run over to Joel.
Inappropriate times, absolutely. Yeah, there's never a good time, is there, for a Windows update? You've got the option to schedule them now, but you just forget, and then you want to give that sales presentation, you've got a room full of people, room full of directors, and then you just get Windows updating with a little loading donut. And that's it, the heart sinks, and then everyone has to wait. The world has to stop before that little machine has to do what it needs to do, and until it's ready to go, you have to wait for it.
Absolutely. Oh my God, that's brought back some memories. The amount of times that's actually happened to me in a presentation, and I've just thought, okay, I didn't revise this presentation. I don't know how I'm going to do this on the fly, and how do I cope? What about you, Faisal?
I don't know. I've never run into that issue. I always do my updates when I shut down the computer. So
Look at this guy!
I've never had that. I think with the Windows, I think you're probably comparing it to Mac. You got to remember, iOS, they've got full control of their hardware and everything, whereas with Windows, it depends on the manufacturer. They could have, all sorts of different hardware configurations, and then all of a sudden a new update comes out and it doesn't consider that particular configuration. Or it could be a fault with your hardware. So what was it in the end?
It was Windows.
Just Windows.
It was just Windows being Windows.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, we're not all like you. Obviously, this digital maestro who can then, like, you literally must. How much RAM do you run on?
Well, me personally.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you're running on some sort of RAM. Has NVIDIA been testing the AI graphics cards and so on you? Because I mean, obviously he's had no issues with Windows at all.
Not recently. I mean, I used to have issues with Windows in the early days.
Yeah.
But that's only if you're installing loads of stuff. On my work laptop, I only have limited amounts of apps I have, and they're specifically for work.
Yeah, but then you pay people to take the headache away, so it's different. I'll let you off. What you, Sham?
I was going to say pretty similar. Back in the day, Windows was a pain, but on the other side of it, I haven't had a personal Windows machine for a fair few years, at least a decade. I've been on Apple, and with them, it's I'm nowhere near as problematic.
Windows was bad when it was Windows 95 and 98 and all those. At that time, I remember switching over to Windows NT. For that reason, and that Windows NT, I was at uni at the time. You could only install those specific types of apps. You couldn't put games on there and all sorts of other things. So I think as long as on your operating system you have exactly what you need, it works fine. I've not had any issues since I've had Windows 10. I think.
Wow.
Or Windows 7 actually.
Wow,
yeah.
That's actually quite impressive.
He's got his life together, yeah.
He's got his life together. I mean, this is where we're at right now. This is what we're saying. We're saying that Faisal regularly defrags, has the highest RAM in the world for any humanoid.
I should advise that IT company you work for.
I think you should. Yeah, definitely you should. And we should take Sham on board as well, because he's had no issues for a decade as well. I don't know. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong here.
Yeah. No, I run both Mac and Windows. So I can compare. I mean, Mac is a different beast to iOS.
Yeah, ditto on that one.
I've used Linux in the past as well. So when there was times where Windows wasn't doing, I'm not saying it wasn't doing what it should be doing. It just wasn't performing to what I thought was optimum in terms of usage of hardware. So I remember, I think it was Windows. What was before Windows 7? I can't remember now. There was something before Windows 7.
Vista, wasn't it?
It might have been Vista, whatever it was.
Was it Vista?
I think it was Vista, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm a freak.
So I remember getting a Dell laptop with Vista on it, and I thought straight away it's using so much RAM. Whatever was on the machine is using probably 60-70% of it. So I got rid of it and put Ubuntu on, Linux.
Yeah.
And then I just run a VM inside it, and that was more optimum in terms of hardware usage than actually just running Windows straight on it.
This must be taking you down memory lane right now.
It is, but that's the whole point of this show is that's a frustration.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Just work. Just put it on my machine and work. Yeah, I don't want to be installing Linux to then run a VM to have something just work. Just work out the box and. With your experience, it didn't work straight out of the box.
It just didn't work. I mean, what about in terms of mobile? Where do we find? I mean, I tell you where I personally find issues with mobile is, you will find that iOS and Android, the apps that are on our phones, they may be by the same company, same developer, but they don't release the updates at the same time. So you'll find, let's take WhatsApp for example. I have found that Android and iOS get updates at different times. So you'll find someone's actually got an additional feature before the other one. I find that quite frustrating, especially when you're managing a huge set of groups and you need to be able to control some form of data. So whether someone can post in a group or not, or something like that, they can't update, therefore they can't get what you're getting sent to your device. I find that quite frustrating.
Do you find that Android apps are updated before iOS?
No, I find iOS updates, Apple always gets the updates before Android.
Okay. It's probably because there's only one iPhone.
Easier to develop.
Operating system,
yeah.
iPhone.
Yeah.
Whereas an Android,
testing
it's the same. It was only one operating system on Android as well, but all the different devices and their own bits to them as well.
Yeah, there is that, definitely.
That's
does
definitely
make
gonna
a
cause
difference.
delays.
In the company I'm involved in, we develop apps for iOS and Android, and normally iOS is easier because of that reason.
Yeah, and ditto on that one as well. Yeah, that's my personal experience. So, what about yourself, Sham?
Well, what my first of all, I had a really good, important question for you, Faisal. Is it Linux or Linux?
Either or either.
Oh wow!
Great answer.
Listen, can I
You're
just
my
say,
hero, man. That's a great answer.
he's bringing all the smoke tonight, all of it. I don't know what's going
He's
on.
had his time off and he's
Exactly.
recuperated.
Do you know, I just got a text from Joel. Ask Faisal, are you a Cat 6 or a Cat 5 tonight? Which cable are you running?
6E, man.
Oh wow,
Fiber,
6E. This is a whole other level. I don't know.
Alright.
What type of other frustration? What have you experienced? I mean, you work in the IT world. You know, what kind of frustrations have you experienced with what you do?
So, I mean, my first example, one of my most annoying ones, is a personal one, is people's phones. And, if someone wants you to do... So, like you said, I know what I'm doing with devices and stuff. So, sometimes people will say to me, sort my phone out or something. You have a look at the phone, it's got like 1 million notifications on there.
Yeah.
And, and they basically just say yes to any kind of pop-up that comes up. And then they've got millions and millions of emails. And you're like, how do you live like this?
Yeah.
How do people live like that,
Exactly.
man? Oh my God.
I love that. That's a great example.
Yeah.
That is a really good example. I'm with you on that one. And the disorganized, home screen.
It's just like chaos.
It's just chaos. So
Pure
you're like,
chaos.
What are you doing with your phone? Oh, this is how I use my phone. I'm like, but you're not actually using your phone. I don't get what you're doing. I love that.
sounds like
And
my
it's constantly pinging, pinging with alerts. And it's like, wow.
Wow.
Sounds like my
And what about
inbox.
you, Joel?
So one of my biggest frustrations is I'm quite a big gamer, and sometimes I'll just want to come and sit down, either play games with friends over the internet, or just sit down and play by myself, and it has to update. And when the games update, it can be 40 gigs or upwards. And it doesn't matter whether you're Xbox, PlayStation, PC, happens. And it, again, always at the worst time, because for some reason, it doesn't want to sit there and do it in the background while I'm at work. But when I go to click on it, it goes, oh no, I need an update
Yes,
now.
you need an update now.
Oh, come on, right now.
It's usually just when you want to play it.
Just when I want to use
Yeah.
it, you want to update. And it's like, we haven't got the greatest broadband where I am. So, a 40 gig game is a good few hours. And that's your night gone.
That's right near Buckingham Palace, isn't it, Joel?
Drive something else.
Yeah. Tell us about your tech frustrations. Really love to know. You can comment on our live streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch. Share with us what you find most frustrating when you're using technology. What about you, Faisal? You must have something secret going on here, because I don't know. He's going to say it's all smooth operator now, isn't he?
No, just I think the biggest frustrations I've had is when I don't have my charger with me.
Okay.
I'm running out of power, and I'm still on an old iPhone, and there's no iPhone cables around. So I'm glad that one of those things, the USB-C, has become standard. So that used to be one of my frustrations, which isn't anymore. I can't really think of any, to be honest.
Well, I mean, you're a smooth operator.
I really can't.
Yeah, they really need to invent a new way of charging, like wireless in the air, passive charging.
I like that.
I'm sure there's things in works.
Careful
things
what you're
in
saying
place
now. We
right
might need to quickly trademark what you're saying. But carry on.
Not how efficient. I'm not sure how efficient it would be. Like what was it? The Tesla coil back in, I don't know when it was. Nikolai Tesla, he'd done it, and it was like he had the idea to have street lights, but they're not connected by cables, and they would all just power up.
Yeah, you probably fry your brain.
Fry your brain at the same time. But so in that sense of charging, that's why I really like this phone.
Okay. It's important. I'm glad you mentioned that as well, actually. It's going to segue into something I want to ask you. Sham has bought a new phone, guys.
Yeah,
Would you like to tell everybody what you have?
It's nothing major.
Come on, it's the flagship phone for that manufacturer.
It's a OnePlus 12.
OnePlus 12.
Most people,
Is it a 13 then?
Huh?
Never mind.
Okay. Well, it's a OnePlus. Yeah, it's a OnePlus 12. That's what. The name of the phone is OnePlus. The model is 12. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. And what I was going to say was the reason I brought up the phone was it was about the charging. So this has 100-watt charging. So basically, I can put it to 0 to 100% in 30 minutes. But more importantly, like you say, when you need a quick bang top up, you put it on, and it's like within 10-15 minutes, it's got 50-60%.
That's pretty cool.
So basically,
Is that Android?
Yeah, it's Android. Sorry,
Android,
yeah.
And it's got basically Tesla supercharging network
It's
charging.
I actually
insanely.
bought a toothbrush recently. You're not gonna.
What, for the first time in your life? Can I just say, wait, that is so random the way you just did that. And secondly, so the first time in your life you bought a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Electric, you mean?
Electric
yeah?
one.
Yeah.
No, I've had electric one in the past, but the reason I bought this one was it charges pretty quick. Whereas the other ones, I don't know if you've noticed, the electric charger toothbrushes just
Take ages.
take
I don't
take
know.
ages,
I
whereas
always
this
just leave
one-
it on the stand
Yeah,
thing.
I know, but
I
sometimes
never
I don't.
know. Yeah.
Okay, so what is this? Is it like a Pagani toothbrush or something?
Yeah, something like that. It may as well be at that price.
Wow.
That leads me on to one of my other frustrations, actually, which is the fact that there's devices now in our lives, like toothbrushes, microwaves, fridge freezers, and things like that, that just have no need to have associated apps or firmwares and stuff like this.
I've
And
got
to
an
be
app for it.
to be connected and
Yeah.
stuff. And that just frustrates me because you just think, why am I upgrading the firmware for my bicycle lights? Or why am I upgrading
Yeah.
the firmware for my fridge? You know, this is like, you know, this is just something that shouldn't be happening.
No, I agree with you. Are we at a stage where we're just over engineering things? Is that where we're at? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, maybe.
Or are we in that race where everything needs to be smart? Is it the manufacturer who wants the data and are marketing it in a way that it's important to us to have knowledge of that data? Or is it the other way around, which is how I feel, like you're saying, where you have a dumb device, it's only designed to light up like a torch or brush your teeth. Who benefits from that data? And if they have an app that accompanies it, well, the manufacturer is definitely getting the data.
Yeah, that's interesting because that's actually Garmin's. They do sports watches and they do also sort of like other sports trackers and things like that, and that's actually part of their business model. Is you don't pay to have you pay a fairly small amount for sort of like a Garmin smartwatch and sports tracker, but what they actually do is they actually profit on the data that it collects from all the people that are wearing their devices and things like that, and that's actually their business model, which is why you don't pay extra for their apps and why you don't pay a large price for their devices and things, because they are making money from that data that they're bringing in. But whether someone out there, whether Big Dental is making money out of your teeth brushing data, who knows? But yeah, possibly.
Data is important, isn't it? It helps you to develop the next line of products that you're going to be launching. It was going to help you to understand what are my customers thinking about the product that I've just sold to them, and it's not going to go away. It just seems like everything's going to have Bluetooth, everything's going to have Wi-Fi, and like you said, toothbrushes, fridges, and whatever it may be. At some point, being in this data world that we live in, it's gold. At the end of the day, if you can, sorry,
I was going to say, that's one of my peeves. Is whenever you visit any one of these sites or anything, or you're trying to do a bit of research for work or for whatever, you go to a random website, you go in on there, and what do you get first? Terms and conditions, the cookies, and all that stuff about your data.
Yeah.
And it's most of the time the default is allow everything. Yeah, we want you giving access to all the information.
I like
You've got
that.
to physically go in and then say no.
And what I can't get my head around, okay, you're right, I completely concur with you. What I can't understand is why can't we at browser level just choose we don't want it, and it then interacts with all the websites and handles that for us, one? Or why can't all web developers follow the same protocol, so it's the same form that goes in front of you, and with one
Good
click,
practice.
right,
Yeah.
exactly, you can just say I'm not interested. But what actually happens, like you just said, is even when you say reject all, which not all websites have reject all,
Only the
you have to go
respectable
through all of
ones.
them.
Yeah, only the respectable ones. I was
Yeah.
going to say, it's not all of them, yeah.
Yeah.
So the respectable ones do have an option where you just say, just decline.
Yeah,
all.
and that is very
Yeah,
frustrating.
it's down to the browser, isn't it? There's a browser, I don't know if you've heard of it, DuckDuckGo.
Yes, I have, yeah.
Yeah.
So with that type of browser, you can actually restrict, what you're sharing
All those-
by default.
Yeah.
No, so what you're saying is, are you saying then when I connect to said website, DuckDuckGo will automatically say, oh, that's his preferences, and it will kill that window or not?
What do you mean kill the window?
So let's say a website pops up, killskebabs.net,
Yeah.
my favorite website. I haven't launched it just yet, just saying. And then normally when you click on it, you'll get a window saying, accept our terms and conditions, cookies, right?
Yeah,
Will
but
DuckDuckGo handle that window for
it
me?
doesn't matter about the window because the cookies aren't there, are they? Due to the browser, whatever you select on that Windows,
Doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter because there's nothing there.
I'm going to
for
give
it
that a go.
collect.
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
What do you think of DuckDuckGo? Let me know. 01733 602 133. Joe.
I think touching on the sort of internet side of things, and I think that for the last few years, I think that we have had the worst browser interaction with web pages that we ever have done in terms of pop-ups and things like that. Now, although you can get sort of ad blockers and things like that, there are still lots of things. Do you accept our cookie policy? No. Do you want 10% off if you put your email address in? No. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter? No. And by the time I've got through all of that, I still am then bombarded with loads of in-browser apps and things like that, to get to a piece of article that I want to read. When before, back in the day, we're all going to sound like a bunch of old men, or back in my day, blah blah blah.
It's like an obstacle course.
But yeah, it's a horrible user experience now. Yeah, for the internet. So now I find I just sort of most of the time I'm just like putting it into Bing AI and saying, just summarize this for me. And what it does, it cuts all of that kind of stuff out. All of that stuff that's coming at me, I can just go straight to Bing and just go, here you go, summarize this for me.
I suppose the positive on that is that, like you said, back in the day, these companies would just use that data anyway without asking you.
Right, that's true,
yeah. So there was that.
And believe me, having had conversations at that top table, they are they're still sore from not being able to use the data.
Yeah, that's it.
They've had to change their modus operandi based on the fact that they don't have that data anymore. As soon as that cookie law come in, it wiped out so much of that easy access to data that they've had to think more smartly to get. Social listening has changed massively, and that in itself is its own business. And I won't say anything more than that. Face.
In terms of privacy and
another pet peeve, another tech frustration, or are you about to tell us you're like Aladdin? You sat on your carpet, flying through the airwaves of Windows and iOS, just picking any bit of RAM you like, plugged in with your 6E, life's good.
No, I mean, there's certain things, I think by now, we're saying that things shouldn't be connected, but it's about convenience, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So when washing machine's finished, it should send a notification or something. You should be able to get something which does that. So I always try to find these like little things which not make things convenient. It's just, it's done now. I don't need to go and check that it's done. And I suppose people like me probably buy into these kind of things quite easily. And I think certain products are marketed to certain people, I guess. And it's just a gimmick, isn't it? Really?
No, I don't think it's a gimmick. I think I don't know. I think we use that word too loosely. I think you're right. Having a smart device that helps to improve your life, i.e., time efficiency, like you're saying, you're out with your family, and just like you'd get a notification that someone's at your front door, I don't see an issue with the fact that your tumble dryer's just finished spinning, and then you can say, okay, well that's done. I need to do this, or from that device, you're saying, right, you've done this now, I need you to do the next wash cycle. You tap your phone and it's done. I think it's just the way technology is going now, that we're using our phones literally to communicate with all the most important things in our life, whether that's your car, your washing machine, your fridge, or your front door, or whatever it may be. More and more, I think in the next 10 years, it's going to be even more ingrained. We've seen the smart glasses, haven't we? I think it's going to be more wearable tech and more tech that we can control at home and beyond. Through our mobile devices, and we've got plenty of experience from that. Whether you're sat in Peterborough and you're opening the door somewhere in Tokyo for an organisation, or whether you're tracking a vehicle, or whether you're opening your front door, I think we're there now. And it's never going to go back. It's only going to get better. The question really is, dumb devices are becoming smarter, and like you were saying earlier on, are they smart enough to make a real difference, or just frustrating that I can't brush my teeth because I can't connect to my Wi-Fi right now to update the toothbrush because the Wi-Fi's gone down, so I can't brush my teeth?
No, I've not had that issue.
I know you. Of course you haven't.
The thing is,
of course you haven't.
No issues there.
No issues. So the whole show is no issue.
I've not had that issue.
But there's
next show is going to do no issues.
On that same thing as well, there's also times where they take it too far. So, for example, you go to a restaurant or a cafe or something, and you want to order something. They go, "Oh, you've got to go on the phone."
QR
Can't I
code.
just say to you, I want this? No, you can't.
Sham is the best person for this topic. I tell you, he's right. You're right. I've walked into restaurants. I said, "Where's the menu?" "Oh, you need to scan the QR code." "Oh, we did it when we went to Sheffield."
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
and
really
just to be really annoying, just pretend. Oh, I haven't got a phone. And now what?
But did you not tell him you had a 13? No, okay. But no, you're right. I'm with you on that. But I'm not going to ask Faisal because he's absolutely fine.
So no, I don't like that either. Yeah, the QR code thing annoys me personally. Yeah.
Maybe this already exists, but is there an app out there that will talk to all my other apps? So I just have one app.
Yes,
Wow.
it's called shut down.
That's basically, it's called basically handing your keys to somebody else, to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still to come. I mean, John, if you're preparing that app, I think you're going to be like a trillionaire quite quickly.
Yeah.
That is what
trademark.
Trademark quickly, yeah. Yeah.
I presume that is what AI is, the intent of AI is.
To
At some
control
point-
everything for us.
Yeah, to do everything for you. So basically, everyone will have an AI assistant, and that AI assistant, you just tell it what you want to do. Or can you send this person an email? Or can you set the washing machine on, like you said? Or whatever.
Scary thought, isn't it? And you know what? I can't believe I'm going to
Why
say
scary?
this, but we are heading towards an ad break. This half an hour of the show has just flown by, and us four blokes can carry on moaning about the different bits of text. We'd love to hear from you as well. Do text us on 07411 191 062 or comment on Salaam Radio's social streams. We've got plenty more to come after the break with your tech stories of the week, funny stories of the week. Faisal's in the studio with us as well this evening. He's wearing a really cool shirt, and in his tech world, everything is going real smooth, like real smooth.
Smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing. So if you're not watching this on social media right now, I would say he's at least 1 gigabit up and 1 gigabit down. See you after the break.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Craving authentic Desi flavors? Look no further than Desi Restaurant. From midday until 1 in the morning, enjoy our homemade specialties that will transport your taste buds. Indulge in tantalizing papri chaat and savor the rich Chersi kadahi. Treat your friends to our fresh 1 kilogram Chersi lamb handi. Plus, get 2 12-inch pizzas for $11.95. Located at 298 Lincoln Road, we deliver from lunchtime until 1 a.m. Call 01733 555 795 now to order and experience Desi Restaurant's flavors.
Where can you get high quality and low prices? Amar Food Store and Halal Meat in Lincoln Road Triangle is the place to go. Pay us a visit and take advantage of our special offers and great range of products on groceries, vegetables, fruits and halal meat. Also send money to Pakistan absolutely free. We have all top brands at special offers, offer free customer parking and provide a free local delivery service. Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call us on 01733 687 374. High in quality, low in prices.
Satisfy your cravings at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant. Enjoy a tantalizing variety of Chinese, Italian, Pakistani and comfort food favourites, from starters to desserts. Kids under 5 dine for free, so bring the whole family to our location at 63 Sycamore Avenue. Open every day from 5 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. Call us on 01733 313131 or book online to reserve your table. Ibrahimi-restaurant.co.uk. Every bite is a delight at Ibrahimi Buffet Restaurant.
Do you own a restaurant or takeaway? Cater Fair is an expert supplier of new and used commercial catering equipment. Visit caterfair.co.uk for quality equipment on sale at the lowest prices, or call us on 01733 310 115 or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
Bite into something wonderfully tasty at Big Mouth, 349 Lincoln Road in Peterborough. Eating in for takeaway or delivery. Big Mouth now have a delicious new menu full of all your favourites. Crispy fried chicken, juicy smashed burgers, finger-licking peri-peri chicken, handmade pizzas, quality doner meat and so much more. So visit the family-friendly Big Mouth restaurant for fantastically fresh food. Call 01733 201020 or visit getbigmouthonline.com.
Masterminds Tuition Academy is for your high schoolers, your something to provers, your subject strugglers and keen learners, your brave jumpers and fist pumpers. Affordable personalised learning plans are delivered through our centres in schools across Peterborough. But not to worry, we also provide online and home visits with flexible timings, whether it is maths, English, science or 11 plus. Masterminds is a must. Find us on all socials and visit our website mastermindstuitionacademy.com or call us on 07516 166 003. Masterminds, master the matrix.
Peterborough's community radio station, Salaam Radio, 106.2 FM.
Welcome back to the Tech Factor. If you've just tuned in, you missed our segment on tech headaches, but don't worry, you can catch up on our social media channels. Now, moving on to the second half of the show with my three tech gurus in the building, Faisal, Joel and Shamshad. Shamshad's also got an Android 13. I don't know what that is. He'll tell you later. Okay, so it's our cool, funny tech stories of the week, and I'm going to pass over to my comrades, Shamshad, who I'm sure will be sharing an amusing tale about something or another, which do you know what? I'm excited about what Shamshad is going to say. Do you know why? If you look at the history of this show, he always comes up with a story that you two have never heard of, and it is mind-blowing. So over to you.
No pressure.
No pressure.
So this one, not a story. It's more. It's actually more about a new technology or new news.
Okay.
First-person view drones.
Oh wow!
I don't know if you've seen these ones or not.
Yeah.
It looks like so much fun. I haven't actually got one, but I've seen them and It looks so much fun. So basically how it works is instead of looking at normally you use a screen of some kind on a controller, and you look at the when you're flying the drone, you look through your screen. With these, you don't do that. You wear a pair of goggles, and they're like virtual reality goggles. I think it's called something like slaving the ship to the goggles. It's basically a technology similar to what the Apache helicopters use, and where if you turn your head, with the helmet, the pilot would turn the head, and the turret under the helicopter would turn at the same time as well, and the head movement. So it's a similar kind of technology, I think, and the maneuverability on these things is insane as well, and you can do all kinds of stunts. There's the proof of how good and how acrobatic these things are becoming is that, when we were talking about last time, we talked about the AI Formula One racing that started up. So them same people have got plans to start up an AI aerial drone racing. Yeah, so that's going to be something insane, some kind of obstacle course or something. I don't know what the basis is going to be to that, but it's something really good. I'm really excited about this. And just out of all the ones that were available, just one example is, I know there's loads of others available. The DJI Avata 2, I think I've pronounced that right. So in combination with some DJI Goggles 3, they're called, I think it costs approximately about $1,000, give and take a few £100 depending on the model you go for, and it's a really good sensor on it for the image quality, so really high quality imaging on it. It's got good stability on it, and the people that are using them are saying that it's better than most of the stability stabilizers. So as you're flying it, it's really good at stabilizing the image. Well, some people just do post stabilizations afterwards after they've captured it. Imagine what you could do with that with an Apple Vision Pro, Faisal.
I've gone off the Apple Vision Pro.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, after getting 7 of them? Why don't you tell the truth? What happened? You're wearing it, something went wrong?
No.
You walked into something?
They're just too big and bulky, aren't
they?
Yeah.
So you took 2 weeks off the Tech Factor because it was too big and bulky. Okay.
But I've seen, going back to the story, was I've seen people using them and what they do with them. It's insane. It's like you're flying an aircraft, basically, and it's only your eyes. So you're literally in the vehicle. That's what it feels like. It's insane.
So when you turn your head, does a drone turn?
Yes, it does. Yeah. So
this sounds amazing.
So there's different ones. So like that DJI, you've got the goggles, and I think you have to calibrate different ways. But there's on the vertical axis and the horizontal axis, you can turn it. And then you've got a handheld device, a controller as well. So you use that for movement. So you want to look left, you just turn left, and the drone will physically turn that way as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Good for surveillance and stuff like that, I suppose.
Over to you, Joel.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool, but I think it would make me feel really sick. It makes me feel sick thinking about it. I get sick with the VR headsets on anyway if there's too much head movement and stuff like that. I'm okay stationary, but I think that. But
you'd be hurled if you saw some of them videos of what they do.
I bet.
Somersaults and all kinds, man. And spin it at the same time as they're doing somersaults.
So no Joel Airways anytime soon.
Yeah, no, not at all.
What have you got then, mate?
Got a couple. So one that's probably more time pressing than the others is just say happy birthday to Mark Zuckerberg. He was 40 last week. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Pretty much we're celebrating it at his home with people like Bill Gates. He had round. So, and that was actually confirmed on Bill's Instagram as well. It wasn't AI image. So the reason I bring this up is because it's got quite an interesting kind of little theme to it. So what actually happened on his birthday was there were kind of miniature rooms set up from his past. So it was like his dormitory at college, and then there's various other rooms representing parts of Mark's life. And the image that we've seen online associated with the story is really funny because Bill Gates and Mark are in one of the kind of like these kind of like small rooms that have been mocked up, but they look like giants sitting on really tiny furniture. It just something that caught my eye. So yeah, and he was 40, so I can't believe that he's a similar sort of age to everyone here as well, which is great. So happy birthday, Mark. So that was one of mine.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Give me a call.
Yeah, that's what it was. I love the way I was thinking, okay, so why is he randomly just going to give Mark Zuckerberg, who doesn't know Joel, happy birthday? And then right at the end, there it was. Well, Mark, if you're listening, I have no doubt that you are actually listening because we're using one of your meta platforms here.
You can send him a snippet of the show.
We will do. Yeah. Can you DM... No, message Salaam Radio first, and then we'll give you... Joel, can we give him your details? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And so let me just get this right. You want to be sat next to Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg on a small piece of furniture in one of the rooms. This is what we're saying.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. And then you'll impress him with other stuff and then join Meta, like Nick Clegg. Moving on to you, Faisal.
Yeah, this one's interesting. I've always been thinking about this for a while. Have you ever had scenarios where you've lost something and you're thinking, where on earth did I leave that?
All the time, mate.
All the time, yeah. Yeah, so this thing is a potential solution for that. So this is a project. It's not even beta. This is early stage development. Google announced it, I think last week or earlier this week, whereby they showed the proof of concept on a mobile phone. And what it will do is it will just basically record all objects, not necessarily do a video recording, but record a vector or representation of that physical object, so it knows that potentially where you've left it or what is seen where. So you could ask your phone, where have I left my keys? And the phone will tell you, yeah, you've left on your desk or wherever you've left.
Does it work similarly, like to 3 words? I don't know if you've heard of that.
No,
3 words.
Yeah, no, this isn't necessarily. This could be inside your house.
Yeah.
So it will rely on in a real life scenario, it will rely on some sort of device which will record everything you're doing at all times. So, for example,
so it can go from floors as well.
Yeah,
so it tell you like it's on the 3rd floor.
Because it will remember that where you've left it. As in, it will recognize objects around it, wherever you've left it. If you know what I mean. So let's say, for example, you're wearing Google's glasses or whatever glasses, and you've left your keys there. Then you've gone and done whatever for the next few hours, and you've forgotten where you left them. The device that you were using to view that will remember where you've left them. Does that make sense?
It does.
But I presume that means you would have to have that device as well then.
Of course, yeah, you would do. But this is where it's heading. So what we're talking about, wearable devices, most likely I think we're all going to be. I mean, you guys are wearing glasses. I'm
not
pretty
wearing
much nearly
glasses.
there. Pretty much there. Whether it's glasses, contact lenses, or whatever. We were talking about
Spectacles.
Apple Vision Pro.
I'm not wearing
I think-
any face furniture.
I think people will be wearing these devices permanently. And that would be one of the
I agree, because
conveniences.
I stopped wearing glasses. 'Cause
You
I
used to
done-
wear glasses?
I done laser surgery, and then I remember when we went to that airport, I can't remember where it was now, but they had the Meta glasses there. And
Yes.
that was a one time I thought, you know what?
That was
It'd be
Luton
cool
Airport.
to wear glasses again.
Yeah,
because of the AR as well in there.
Yeah, and plus they could adjust the prescription as well, couldn't
Yeah.
they? Yeah, so you don't need laser surgery then. It's worth having it anyway. But the thing is, Google also was showing their concept of not augmented. It's augmented reality, but actually showing a holographic image through the glasses. So you're basically seeing more enhanced version of augmented reality.
Sounds phenomenal.
It is, yeah, it is
Phenomenal.
And the cool thing about it is the video footage isn't recorded.
Mm-hmm.
It's just recording. It's called a vector of that particular thing.
Okay, got it. So, for example, if you're you're saying keys, or if it's a phone, or but it's just specifically that thing. It's not the environment.
Well, it will be the environment.
So, for example,
so whatever. So it might record a chair, a desk, or
Yeah. So
whatever.
can I say something to you? So with that in mind, there's this app, and God forgive me, I can't recall the name of it. I've used it recently, and it's on the App Store. So an iOS app. Not sure if it's on Android. And what you can do is you take a picture. You take a picture of a subject, anything, like say for example the chair that Sham sat on, and this thing will then create an AI image of this, in a 3D AI image of it. And I was blown away. It was using all of the processing power on the device. And I was blown away with the image it came back up with, and some of the environment as well. And I'm just thinking about what you're saying. You are right. This is where it's going. I.e., you will pick what you want out of an image, and then you'll say, using AI, tell it, I want this from this image. Like Sham's shown me previously on his phone, you can erase people from pictures. That's just basic stuff now. But now you can add. You can say, okay, I've taken this picture of a dog in a park, but I want you to now add 7 other dogs plus all the dog food and only 3 walkers, and it needs to be raining, and it'll do all of that on your device.
I think it's called AI generative fill, isn't it? Where
something like that.
It'll add or take away whatever you want from certain pictures. But I mean, you and I, our history together was from CCTV.
Yeah.
And even in CCTV, we could see. They called it AI at the time, but it was still able to differentiate between lorries, cars, and people. And I think that what we're seeing now is we're seeing things like this, which is coming to like a more of a public level, a more of an everyday usability, something that's going to be helping everybody at some point within their life to understand and remember things for them, instead of just using it for security. It's actually coming down to sort of like a man in the street level, where it's on your device and actually helping you do things. So yeah, that's really cool.
I like that. Thank you. And Sham, back to you.
Well, this is a nice segue into my next story as well.
On your 13.
On this, on the 13. Yeah, it's going to get old very quick. OpenAI just announced the new version of the artificial intelligence ChatGPT called ChatGPT-4o.
Okay.
It's the reason it's exciting is up till recently, it was how these artificial intelligences worked was it would either be you inputting text as prompts or your voice. The big change with this one is it will also be able to include visual content as well. So meaning like a camera or a picture or something like that. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, so they've done quite a few demos of this technology, and they show, for example, this one person. He's got the AI on his phone, and he's talking to it, and he's asking the AI, okay, right, I've got a job interview for this position, and I'm going there, and how do I look? do I look good enough or not? And the AI looks at him and says, "Oh, okay, right. You're wearing this, that, the other, and maybe you want to change this, and do it in a. It's the way it responds as well. Is the cadence in the tone as well, or the voice? It sounds very convincing, and then the little details it picks up on as well. It's gone very far from what it was before at first. There's been quite a few other demos as well. I'm gone blind here at the moment now. I think my laser tech's not working. There was a demo of where they asked. I think I discussed this with you earlier on. Sorry, I'm waffling now. So they had two phones. One phone's got one AI on it. They tell it, right, you can only talk and speak. You cannot basically it can't use a camera. And they've got another phone with another AI on it, and they tell it, basically tell it that you can use the cameras and everything. And it asks one AI to talk to the other AI to explain to it and the surroundings and the places that they're in. So the AI first one asks the other one, and then it explains, there's a person sitting there, it's quite attentive, it's looking at the camera, it's paying attention to you. So quite detailed information as well, and pointing and saying, there's this kind of mood, this type of architecture in the building, very I think this is where you see the machine learning that they've been doing come into play. So it's not just about saying, this is red. It's like saying, this is red, but it's got white writing on it as well.
Wow. What do you think about this topic, guys? In terms of, do you have a tech story that you have found this week that we're missing and would like to share with us? You can comment on our social streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitch. We'd love to hear from you. Joel.
So the two stories that we just heard about, I think that it really goes to show that AI companies now and the industry is really heading into how they can enhance more than just text. They're really looking at all the multimedia platforms in terms of moving video, as well as still images, as well as voice recognition and things like that. So yeah, it's really interesting to see those two stories going along. I'm going to talk about something slightly different, something that's still kind of related, but something slightly different. So I think we've actually mentioned this on the show earlier in the year about where deep fakes would go and what kind of scams could be achieved when using deep fakes. Well, there's just been a big one has just hit the news in recent times, where a British multinational design and engineering company was targeted by a deep fake scam, and it lost in a £25 million payout.
Wow.
So, and this is really interesting. So this particular company, famous for building buildings such as Sydney Opera House, they had a phishing email go into their accounts department, and the accounts department thought, this is a bit dodgy. That person from accounts actually then attended a Teams meeting with these people, and they had deep faked people from a higher level, from like C-level and executive levels. So it looked like them, it sounded like them, and they reassured the guy in accounts that this definitely needed paying and to go ahead and do it. And he transferred the money, £25 million from this company, based on deep fake of their upper level executives.
So finally, what you're saying to me is, yes, crazy, but what you're also saying to me as well at the same time is, this was coming. People who are smart enough have spent enough time, because it's going to take time to prepare something like this, done all of the soft runs, the dry runs, prepared this whole thing, professionally written out all of the scripts, invited this guy on, stayed calm, and nailed it.
Yeah.
This was always going to be...
Look like them, sound like them.
So this is always going to be the quid pro quo, because of the fact that you have such powerful technology that you would be able to do something like this. I'm not surprised, Faisal.
No, it's not surprising. I think until software providers like Microsoft have mechanisms in place to recognize that this is a fake. Do you know what I mean? Software itself needs those mechanisms. I know there was a consortium, I don't know which I'm sure it was Adobe and a few others, where they've got these generative fill and all these ways of creating this potentially making fake images or fake videos, that they imprint something into the software that this isn't a real footage, this is AI generated footage. But I think
like a fingerprint or something.
Like a fingerprint or something. But you're relying then on software companies to do that. But people who are going to create these kind of deep fakes, they're not going to use Adobe products or something. They'll create their own products and create these fakes. But I think it's really important for, systems like Microsoft Teams and even when you ring someone on your mobile, how are you making that call? Is it better to have that face-to-face meeting rather than having the phone call meeting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But it has also got me thinking with what you're saying, or certainly what Joel has said as well. And Sham, coming on this as well, is that think about how many pranks there have been in the world, okay, in the last 15, 20 years, where someone from a radio station in a particular country rings up an office of someone important, like a mayor or an MP or someone, and they impersonate a voice, and they manage to make that person think they're XYZ, and that person then has that conversation with them. But the evolution of AI and the technology that we've got our hands on, every man in the street can get this access now. Mm-hmm. As long as you've got the will, or the people who know how to do it, you can do what they just did. You can siphon $25 million or pounds with relative ease. Yeah, and I think this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it's the first one that's come to light in the public eye. Yeah, which is why I sort of wanted to sort of bring it up to date. Something I think in the last episode we talked about, can you hear me? Scam that was going around. And previous to that we talked about AI modules and we talked about deep fakes and things like that. Now some of the deep fakes, whether it's sort of doing some really nasty stuff with celebrities, or going back several years, Channel 4 got one band that had the Queen singing songs and dancing on tables and things like that. So it's gone from that to to stuff like this. In a relatively short amount of time. It's really scary. But the company goes on to say that they're still financially stable. Their operations are not impacted, and there's no sort of internal system compromise. So. Again, I guess they'd be insured and stuff. But going back to your fingerprinting idea, there must be ways. I'm guessing at the moment, that you can fingerprint a real stream from a piece of hardware, a camera, whether it's a Logitech camera or whatever, versus the fact that the scammers must have been sort of injecting that deep fake from somewhere. Exactly. That may not be able to have carried a fingerprint and stuff like that. But yeah, incredible story. Incredible,
yeah. I actually feel really bad for the guy who did that. I mean, put yourself in his shoes. He's thinking this is all legit.
Yeah, these sort of things happen all the time. Not necessarily with the deep fake stuff, but even someone just ringing up tech support saying, "Can you please reset my password?" And tech support of a public sector organisation or government organisation or a military organisation, resets the password, and that goes on. Sometimes it just doesn't come into the news, but these things have happened, and they're happening all the time. What was particularly interesting is they did start with a phishing email, which the guy thought was sus. Yeah, the guy actually thought
and they didn't do anything more with it. And it's funny
until they got on this video chat.
Yeah.
And these people looked like the people he worked with.
And I've been, obviously, as you know, where we all work, different organisations, we all have to do different cyber security courses and so on. And when you're on the other side of the fence and you're the employer, you have tools at your disposal that monitors what does your staff do when they receive this email, i.e., you can see through tracking, did that person open the email? Did they forward the email? Did they send it to did they report it to being phishing email, whatever it may be? And I was surprised how many people open emails. Mm-hmm. Even though you can tell us, but they actually still open the email. Curiosity. And that's never going to go away from humans. You're all going to be like, yeah, but what if it has got a legit email address or something? You want to check. And I think this is one of those things you have to go over and over. And eventually we're going to get ourselves to a stage where any phone call we're going to get, we'll be like, well, I mean, I've done this myself. Someone's rang me and said, I'm calling you about so-and-so. Can you confirm your details? I went, no, you're calling me. Why should I confirm my details?
That's smart.
Right. Mm-hmm. I always do that. Right. Okay. Oh, but can you confirm? Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. I can't talk to you.
Smart.
But it took me a while to get my head around in that way. I'm like, but the thing is, logically, you are calling me from a withheld number. I don't know who you are, and you're asking me to confirm my details within the first 5 words of me speaking to you. oh, but I've just sent you a text. I don't know you. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. And then afterwards, you get an email saying we tried to call you.
Then you know it's a legit.
Then you know it's legit. Oh, I needed to do that. But I'd rather go through that and then have someone do what similarly happened to this guy, which all sounds all normal from the beginning, doesn't it? Faisal, we've got a couple of minutes left. What do you have?
Mine was headphones which cancel out or which only allow the certain things that you want to go through. So just imagine you're at home, working from home, and you're busy, I don't know, hoovering your lounge or something, and you're taking a work call. So what these headphones will do is, or headset will do, is it'll actually block out anything other than your voice. So it could be, you could be sitting on the beach, you know, although waves in the background, it'll block those out. Just like when you're sitting at home and you've got a background like of an office, you're not showing the rest of your house. So yeah, these are AI. It's actually an AI project at the University of Washington where they're doing the research.
Didn't Google just announce something similar as well? They should demo it as well. Well, actually, no, they didn't. They demoed a proof of concept.
Yeah, these are all
in a restaurant.
They're all proof of concepts.
Yeah, they showed it in a restaurant where there's
Google I/O.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
there was a customer in front of them, and there was friends sitting at a table, and the guy, and there's a lot of noise, ambient noise, and he goes, "Oh, I can't hear him in front of me. Can you enhance that noise?" And he enhanced it, and then there's a baby crying over there. And he tells it, "Oh, can you cut that noise out?" It cut that noise out, and it's like, yeah.
Wow.
It did live translation from Spanish to English as well.
But that live translation thing, I think that's old news now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's getting smarter.
All AI's got. You know that chat GPT I was telling you about? In one of the announcement, the person that's doing the announcement and the other guy, they're speaking in, one speaking in English and one speaking in Spanish, and it's translating in real time.
That's brilliant, isn't it? You know when you see it happening. It's you're like, wow, we've come that far.
Yeah.
Duolingo's stock price actually dropped when 4o came out because it's so good at teaching languages, and not just teaching languages, but also just doing it on the fly from, again, multimedia, translate this sign, translates it into a different language, as well as hearing someone speaking a different language and translating it and stuff.
Thank you guys. Sorry, we've actually run out of time. I'm sure we could have gone on for the rest of the evening. It was a great topic, guys. I hope you found it interesting at home, or whether you're on the drive or moving around the city, wherever you may be listening to the show this evening. I really appreciate your company. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to join us in 2 weeks for another exciting episode of the Tech Factor. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay tech savvy. I guess that's the message from tonight. Be careful. Think twice before you open up that link.